Welcome to the Commonwealth Institute's Extraordinary Women Advancing Healthcare in Massachusetts Awards, presented by Mass General Brigham. It's a pleasure to celebrate with all of you this evening. I'm Barry Blauvelt, CEO of Innovar Inc., a global management development firm dedicated to life sciences. Elizabeth?
Thanks, Barry. My name is Elizabeth Heiler, and I am the Executive Director of the Commonwealth Institute. And I'm very pleased on behalf of our board to host this event tonight, the Extraordinary Women Advancing Healthcare Awards, honoring remarkable leaders advancing healthcare across Massachusetts, who are significantly impacting and innovating healthcare, inspiring others, and encouraging diversity.
The idea for these awards began 2 years ago. I was doing a national study on women in executive leadership across 10 diverse sectors of healthcare, 5 in manufacturing, 5 in services. And I noticed there weren't very many women from Massachusetts. So then I looked at national awards from NIH and industry, etc., for emerging women leaders, and again, very few from Massachusetts. So we pulled together a group of leaders from across diverse sectors of the industry and proposed the idea for the Extraordinary Women Advancing Healthcare Awards in Massachusetts. And I remember asking the group, thumbs up or thumbs down? And everyone gave a big thumbs up. We then realized we needed the awards to be under an existing nonprofit organization, one renowned for developing women business leaders across the state. Several of the group immediately recommended the Commonwealth Institute, so at that point, I called Elizabeth.
Barry, I remember that phone call almost 2 years ago, sitting in my office. I didn't know who you were, and by the time we got off the phone, I felt like we were best friends. And when you asked me about this concept and partnering with you, I was all in, because this particular award program really helps it continue to advance our work in advancing all women leaders. So expanding our reach and honoring the unsung heroes of healthcare totally aligned to our mission. This program would not be possible without our generous sponsors. First and foremost, I would like to thank our presenting sponsor, Mass General Brigham, for being our presenting sponsor and continuing your support for our good work. We have a number of other sponsors for this program, and I want to make sure that we do a shout out. The Institute of Generative Leadership, Pfizer, Tufts Health Plan, Burns & Levinson, Innovera, the American Heart Association, PricewaterhouseCoopers, Sanofi, Charter Insurance, Mass Medical Society, and the Massachusetts Health and Hospital Association.
This program would not be possible without the dedication of our steering committee. Over the past 22 months, over 20 healthcare professionals from across the Commonwealth have put in countless hours to bring this program to you today. So sharing their wealth of experience from diverse backgrounds, connecting us with sponsors, funders, and endorsers.
We are also very grateful for the support of these endorsing organizations who not only spread the word about the awards and kept their networks informed about the nomination process, but they helped us get people to register for the event itself. I think it's important to point out that their collective reach was well over 250,000 people. And due to that outreach, our endorsing organizations helped us collect over 150 qualified and diverse nominations that were submitted across the Commonwealth. And who would have thought? We thought 50 was going to be a real high number. So thank you again.
Those 150 nominations were reviewed by a panel of almost 20 distinguished judges from across all the healthcare fields. They were overwhelmingly impressed and inspired by the wealth of talent and impact demonstrated by all the nominees. It was a really tough job. So we want to thank these judges for their commitment and time. The extensive review process ultimately resulted in the selection of these 10 extraordinary women who we're truly honored to recognize today with your help.
We're especially pleased that our 10 awardees represent the continuum of healthcare, from research and medical innovation to frontline patient care, from public and nonprofit health to the private industry. Let's learn more about all of these distinguished awardees tonight and recognize them for their significant impact on healthcare here in the Commonwealth and around the globe.
Let's start with our first 2 awardees, both of whom are CEOs of startup life science companies. Entrepreneurship is more than meets the eye. It starts with taking your own business, taking years of passion, education, dedication, risk, gracefully handling failures. Behind every successful new business is an entrepreneur who's put in countless hours of hard work to bring their ideas to fruition. The two awardees we're recognizing in this category truly embody this entrepreneurial spirit. Both of them have founded multiple businesses advancing healthcare in Massachusetts and elsewhere, and mentored other women all along the way. I'd like to call on Richard Emmons, one of our steering committee members, to introduce the first awards.
Hello, I'm Dr. Richard Emmons, and I'm a partner in the Intellectual Property Group at Burns & Levinson, a proud sponsor of the 2020 Extraordinary Women Advancing Healthcare Awards. It is my great pleasure to introduce Azita Sharif, CEO of Daedalus Software Incorporated. Azita's list of professional achievements is impressive. Motivated by a childhood interest in automotive repair, she earned a BS in mechanical engineering from the University of Texas at Austin. She went on to earn 3 separate master's degrees in biotech engineering, international law, and business administration. She was awarded a prestigious Kauffman Fellowship, which led to a successful career in venture capital. Ultimately, Azita decided she wanted to be an entrepreneur and founded Daedalus, which provides first-in-class software that enables companies and hospitals to identify appropriate clinical trial candidates. Oh, and did I almost forget to mention that Azita has also been inducted into the National Academy of Engineers? Between tinkering under the hood of an old Jaguar, navigating the nuances of the VC world, and running a market-leading biotechnology company, Azita clearly takes the concept of the Renaissance woman to a new level. Without further ado, it is my great pleasure to introduce Azita Sharif as a winner of this year's Extraordinary Women Advancing Healthcare Award.
Good evening to you. I am honored to be considered among a group of so many amazing women who have contributed to advancing healthcare. I would like to thank my nominator and mentor, Professor Robert Merton of MIT, and the recipient of the 1997 Nobel Prize in Economic Science for having nominated me. I would also like to thank the Selection Committee and the Commonwealth Institute for considering his nomination and for bestowing such an honor upon me. This award is particularly meaningful to me for 3 reasons. First, it is a very prestigious award. Second, it is called the Extraordinary Women Advancing Healthcare Award. I only think of myself as an ordinary person who works hard and is fortunate to be able to pursue one of my professional passions. Third, I consider public health as a national asset, essential for the stability and growth of our economy. To be recognized as an agent of advancement and a contributor to this national asset is a humbling honor. When I look at this year's list of honorees, I find myself surrounded by intelligent, strong, and talented women. I'm inspired by their work, and I feel a boost of energy that propels me forward and makes me want to do more by designing and implementing new solutions to tackle healthcare issues we have at hand. And I know one life will not be enough. Tonight, I would also like to discuss the importance of enhancing visibility for diverse women in organizations. For this, we need to not only pay attention to today's diversity promotion and visibility, but equally important, to invest in tomorrow's diversity. Diversity is the source of strength. It is the source of diverse ideas and diverse methods of problem solving. It is the source of diversity of innovation and creativity. Increasing today's visibility of diverse women in organizations can be done through well-planned and effective mentoring. Again, I thank you.
I'm pleased to have the opportunity to introduce Dr. Liang Schweizer, CEO of Hi-Fi Biotherapeutics. Liang has been passionate about science and travel since she was a child, and her educational background reflects this. She earned a PhD in biology from the University of Zurich and returned to the States to complete a postdoctoral fellowship at Sloan Kettering Cancer Center with Nobel laureate Dr. Harold Varmus. Liang has made numerous contributions to the healthcare field as an executive leader at Bristol Myers Squibb, Sanofi, Harbor Biomed, and most recently at Hi-Fi Biotherapeutics, which is focused on using single-cell profiling technology to rapidly discover and develop a pipeline of antibody drugs. In the true spirit of Extraordinary Women Advancing Healthcare Award, nominator after nominator lauded Dr. Schweitzer's commitment to mentoring and actively promoting their careers and the careers of others. It is my great pleasure to introduce Dr. Liang Schweizer as a winner of this year's prestigious Extraordinary Women Advancing Healthcare Award.
Hi, I'm Liang Schweizer, co-founder and CEO of Hi-Fi Biotherapeutics, an emerging multinational biotech company. It is a great honor to receive the Extraordinary Woman Advancing Healthcare Award 2020. I would like to thank the steering committee members and TCI for this prestigious award. Special appreciation also goes to Dr. Vicky Reshon, Pauline Ryan, Pauline, and my Hi-Fi Bio colleagues for nominating me. This award confirms my strong dedication to advancing innovative solutions in healthcare and to identifying effective biologic therapies for patients. My passion is to transform the current paradigm of drug discovery and development by integrating deep understanding of science with novel application of technology. The necessity and the impact of such a transformation has been highlighted during the COVID-19 global pandemic. As we know, bringing a drug to patients takes many years of efforts, including preclinical research and clinical trials. The urgency of developing an effective drug for COVID-19 requires a new approach. By combining Hi-Fi Bio unique single-cell technology platform with the open innovation model, we have developed a neutralizing antibody and filed an IND in an unprecedented time frame of 6 months. This experience has taught me to aim for the most ambitious goal while leading the team through a stressful time with passion, dedication, and understanding. As female leaders, we need to set strong example for other women who aspire to grow into leadership positions and promote a culture of diversity in our own organization, as well as advocate for other female leaders. By participating in this TCI event, we voice support for women in leadership roles and help each other to achieve greater success. Thank you.
Our next two awardees have a proven track record of innovation. When they see a need, whether it be social, technological, or organizational, they don't wait around for a solution to materialize. They take the necessary steps to make it happen in order to benefit everyone around them. We're excited tonight to share the stories of two great innovators who have changed the way many residents across our Commonwealth access healthcare. I'd like to invite Dr. Bomba from Mass Medical Society to introduce our next two Innovator awardees.
Good evening. I am Dr. Marianne Bomba, immediate past president of the Massachusetts Medical Society and a physician at the Community Health Center of Cape Cod. It is wonderful to be here this evening as we recognize and award women leaders in healthcare. It is my honor to be able to briefly introduce you to Ms. Christina Roth. Ms. Roth is the Chief Executive Officer and founder of College Diabetes Network, which this year is celebrating its 10th anniversary. Diagnosed with type 1 diabetes at age 14, Ms. Roth became an active patient advocate while in college, where she started the College Diabetes Network as a campus group in 2009. After graduation from college, Ms. Roth worked at the Joslin Diabetes Center and consulted for the Type 1 Diabetes Exchange. Due to the overwhelming response to the initial group formed, Ms. Roth expanded the College Diabetes Network into a national nonprofit organization serving young adults with diabetes, and in 2019 launched the REACH initiative that expanded the impact of the College Diabetes Network by combining grassroots advocacy programs with a top-down focus on systemic change. As CEO of the College Diabetes Network, Ms. Roth frequently speaks on topics such as the network's programs, research on diabetes in the young adult population, nonprofit management, women in business, innovation, and startup organizations. In addition to this incredible work, she also serves on the board of directors of the Diabetes Patient Advocacy Coalition, was a BBJ 40 and under 40 honoree in 2019 and a Small Business of New England Award recipient in 2016. And, as she shared with me, there's even more exciting news to share with you. She will be getting married in a few weeks. Congratulations in all ways, Ms. Roth.
Thank you for having me here tonight, and thank you for the honor of this award. Being considered an extraordinary woman advancing healthcare is truly a privilege, and to be amongst the incredible other honorees, really, I could not have asked for more. So I'd like to thank the Commonwealth Institute for coordinating this award and giving each of us and the work that we strive for the visibility that this helps us with. And I'd like to thank my nominators, my colleagues, my team members, for considering me amongst these extraordinary women. So thank you. I would have to say accepting this award in 2020 was not quite what I pictured, but it means all the more given everything that's happening right now in healthcare and in society. Now more than ever, it's so critical to be innovative and to think out the box and be flexible. There are so many challenges, new and old, to be solved, but an entirely new landscape and set of tools to solve them. So to be at the forefront of healthcare and to be in a position of leadership at this time really is exciting, although extremely stressful at times. So for me, this award is very personally fulfilling. As somebody that grew up in Massachusetts, that went to school in Massachusetts, means a lot to be recognized here. And to have the recognition of all of the work that we do as CDN around peer support and mental health and how critical it is in healthcare and in chronic disease management. The need for it to be leveraged more and to use it to find solutions is just something we feel so strongly about. So it's wonderful to get more visibility. And in the spirit of this award, if anybody watching has an interest in this space, in this space, in any of the other honoree spaces, please reach out to us. We want to make each space better, and every passionate individual that comes into it helps us all. And any way that we can help open doors for you so that you can build on what we have done, that's what these awards and these networking opportunities are all for. So thank you again for the honor of this award and for your time here tonight.
It is my honor to be able to briefly introduce you to one distinguished awardee, Leslie Solomon. Ms. Solomon received her MBA from Harvard Business School and has a Bachelor of Arts in English from Cornell University. She has more than 25 years of experience as an executive working in business development, strategy, and marketing at startups, early stage, and large companies. Presently, Ms. Solomon is the Senior Vice President and Chief Innovation Officer at the Dana-Farber Cancer Institute, a position she has held since 2017. Prior to that time, she served as the founding executive director of Brigham and Women's Hospital's Innovation Hub and is Director of Strategy and Innovation in the Brigham Research Institute. At Dana-Farber, Ms. Solomon leads a team focused on commercializing science and technology, which then works with industry and academic and investment partners to accelerate the pace of bringing those benefits to patients and communities. One specific example of this effort to bring quality care to patients and communities was her leadership in commercializing the Dana-Farber Pathways program with Philips Healthcare, a program that brought clinical decision support literally to the world. Another impactful highlight in her career was service as co-founder of the Food Allergy Science Initiative at the Broad Institute. Through the work of this initiative, work which continues to this day, experts are brought together across disciplines to unlock the biology of food allergies and meet the challenges of diagnosing, managing, and treating food allergies. When asked to share a few highlights of her recent career, Ms. Solomon noted that she is really proud of the leadership team she has built and the office that has grown to more than 30 team members that oversee close to 1,000 agreements annually with industry and academia to accelerate the path at which Dana-Farber science and technology gets to patients. What a legacy of impactful mentorship. Congratulations to Miss Leslie Solomon on this well-deserved award.
I am honored and humbled to accept this award from the Commonwealth Institute and to share the virtual stage with this year's awardees, women who have made incredible contributions to the advancement of healthcare in Massachusetts. I want to share my award with the Dana-Farber community. My work could not be possible without the resources and expertise for which it is so well known. I would first like to thank Dr. Lori Glimcher, President and CEO of Dana-Farber, for nominating me for this award. When I think about the kind of leader I want to further develop into, I look to Lori as someone who inspires me. I'd like to thank my parents, as well as my husband Derek, and my kids, who have become my co-workers these last 6 months. Most importantly, many thanks to Amy Thorpe, who turns my chaos into order, and who my kids call my boss. And of course, much gratitude goes to the healthcare community and the judges who considered me for this award. I am passionate about increasing the visibility for young women and diverse women. We must work harder to find and create opportunities for them, especially within leadership roles. I know how important mentorship can be, and one of my greatest joys is mentoring young women in my organization, but what they give back is tenfold. In closing, I dedicate this award to my Nana, Phyllis Solomon, who died just a few weeks ago at the age of 96. She dedicated her life to helping others. She only retired last year. She has been my guardian, mentor, and thought partner throughout my life. Her dedication to work she loved inspires me to continuously grow and think of more ways I can have an impact. Thank you, and stay safe.
The next two awardees are physicians who work to advance health equity and have a passion to improve healthcare access to underserved and underrepresented people. The COVID pandemic has brought disparities in healthcare to the forefront, not only in Massachusetts, but across the nation. So along with that, these champions have identified new opportunities to adapt and create innovative solutions to ensure the representation and access of underserved communities to research, medicine, and quality care. I'm so pleased to invite Dr. Belen Carrillo Rivas of Pfizer to introduce these next two awardees.
My name is Belen Carrillo Rivas. I am the head of Global Clinical Solutions Quality at Pfizer. Pfizer is a proud sponsor of this extraordinary event, and on my company's behalf, I am honored to introduce you today to extraordinary women that have made tremendous impact on the healthcare industry. The first awardee is Raolat Abdullahi, an extremely bright and committed physician leader who has inspired others to promote health equity in her clinical trial work regarding recruitment and fair distribution of the benefits of clinical research. Dr. Abdullahi is a clinical research director at Sanofi, where she acts as a digital enabler and works to advance Sanofi's.
Hello, my name is Dr. Raolat Abdullahi. I am so honored to be one of the 2020 Extraordinary Women Advancing Healthcare. Thank you to the Commonwealth Institute. Thank you to Bari. Thank you to my nominators, Heidi Crichton, a leader in digital health, and Edie Stringfellow, a leader in diversity and inclusion. Thank you to Sanofi for nurturing my growth. Thank you to Brigham for training me so well. Thank you all. As I sit here today, the world has changed dramatically in the last 6 months. Not only have we been faced with a global pandemic of COVID-19, but we're also faced with societal issues mainly racism, discrimination, and inequity, both of which have impacted my life. I hope to use this award to not only improve diversity and inclusion in clinical trials, but to also improve digital health equity. I feel that this award allows me to be able to use my platform, to use my power, to use my courage to speak up for those people who cannot. I'm so grateful for this opportunity. And speaking of courage, one quote was given to me by a mentor back when I was at the tender age of 16. It was a quote by Edwin Markham, and it goes this way: "They drew a circle and shut me out. Heretic, rebel, a thing to flout. But love and I, we had the wit to win. We drew a circle and brought them in." Thank you so much. Thank you.
On behalf of Pfizer, I am honored to introduce you today to Denise de las Nueces, an exceptionally bright and compassionate physician leader who has dedicated her career to delivering the high-quality healthcare services to Boston homeless population. Dr. de las Nueces serves as a medical director of the Boston Healthcare for Homeless program and is an assistant professor of medicine at Boston University School of Medicine. The Boston Healthcare for Homeless program is an institution that cares for over 11,000 individuals and families experiencing homelessness in the Greater Boston area. Under her leadership, the staff provides the level of sophistication of care that each unique patient needs and deserves. Dr. de las Nueces is deeply committed to fostering the development of future practitioners and young people who are interested in medicine and science, and acts as a mentor to them. She truly loves sharing her work, caring for vulnerable patients, and believes that making a difference in someone's life, helping them to heal, giving them hope, and inspiring them to be the best people they can be is the most rewarding part of being a physician. Prior to her current position, Dr. de las Nueces was the medical director of the Barbara McInnes House, a facility for homeless patients who are too sick to shelter or to be in the streets, overseeing the care at this unique facility. Dr. de las Nueces receives her Bachelor's of Arts from Columbia University and subsequently studied at Harvard Medical School, where she received her medical degree. She trained at the Brigham and Women's Hospital and holds a Master in Public Health degree from Harvard University. Muchas felicidades.
Hello everyone, my name is Denise de las Nueces, and I'd like to take this time today to express my sincerest thanks to the Commonwealth Institute, to Ms. Barry Blauvelt, and to the entire selection committee for the honor of this EWA award, as well as to my employer, Boston Healthcare for the Homeless program, for the honor of my nomination to this award. I'm deeply aware of the many talented women working in healthcare here in Massachusetts, and therefore I'm humbled to be among the inaugural class of the EWA recipients. This award means very much to me, a recognition of my work thus far, but also an inspiration to continue to work toward advancing healthcare and healthcare equity for vulnerable populations moving forward. It is especially meaningful for my family, who immigrated to the United States from the Dominican Republic more than 40 years ago in search of a better life and better opportunities for the next generation. As I accept the award this evening, I'd like to dedicate it to my parents, without whose love, hard work, and resilience in the face of adversity, I would not be who I am today. Leading through the COVID crisis of the past several months has taught me that there are legions of workers, both in and outside of healthcare, who are as important and as essential as the nurses and doctors in the field, and yet who often go unseen. It's reminded me that there are women with diverse racial, ethnic, linguistic, gender, and socioeconomic identities out there who are also doing amazing work and yet who have not been recognized. I accept this award as a promise that I will pay this forward for other women leaders in the years to come. I also issue a call to action for leaders of foundations, hospitals, community healthcare centers, and government. Let's work to put in place programs that will meaningfully equip women with the training and resources needed to support their growth into the leaders of tomorrow. And let's make sure that these leaders are reflective of the richness of diversity here in the Commonwealth. Thank you very much again for this award.
The stigma surrounding mental health has long been an issue in society, and particularly so today given the COVID environment. Unfortunately, despite the yeoman efforts, the work of mental health professionals has gone under-recognized within our healthcare space. We are very proud to recognize the following leaders who have significantly raised recognition of the mental health need, bringing the conversation out from behind closed doors, increasing access to mental health, wellness, services, and support. I'm very delighted to introduce Joanne Kamens of Addgene, one of our superstar steering committee members, to introduce these incredible women.
Hi, I'm Joanne Kamens, Executive Director of Addgene, a nonprofit science service company helping accelerate research in over 100 countries. Our international mission has always been tied in with a focus on diversity of all types. I'm so delighted to introduce Kathleen Greer as an awardee who leads the way in helping those with diverse disabilities reach positive outcomes and success. Kathy is founder and chairman at KGA Inc., an employee assistance and work-life program organization. She has made it her personal mission to put a spotlight on mental illness and its wide-ranging impact on overall health. Mental illness does not discriminate, and the stigma remains high. An early referral to an EAP may prevent issues from festering or may even save a life. Kathy also volunteers her time to raise up women in many other ways, including as a managing director of Golden Seeds, an angel investing group that focuses on supporting female founders, and she volunteers at the Framingham Women's Prison, where she mentors inmates who are working on their college education. As stated by her nominators, Kathy holds firm to the belief that technology can help, but emotional well-being still requires a personal touch. Kathy has been a personal inspiration to the two of us who are nominating her for this honor. We hope you will be inspired by her story as well. Please join me in congratulating Kathy Greer on being recognized as an extraordinary woman advancing and innovating in healthcare.
Thank you to the Commonwealth Institute for recognizing me as an extraordinary woman advancing healthcare. It's quite an honor, and I'm grateful for the nomination from colleagues Elaine Varelis of Keystone Partners and Barbara Marks of Marks Plus. This award symbolizes to me an acknowledgement of the critical role that mental health plays in our healthcare system. It is, in fact, quite unusual for mental health leaders to be honored as healthcare leaders at all. When I first heard of EAPs, employee assistance programs, I was quite taken with how they normalized mental health, taking away stigma and encouraging people to address what might be their underlying condition. There are barriers to getting counseling in a healthcare field that is sometimes disjointed, and particularly challenging for people who are ashamed of their condition. Since 1982, we have found help for hundreds of thousands of employees who might have otherwise become discouraged and given up. Fielding almost 20,000 calls per year, KGA became the leading EAP in New England, and I am particularly proud of our hand-picked leadership team who will take the company forward as I retire. The pandemic has taught us how to make the most of remote counseling, virtual support groups, and the practical issues of childcare. I feel great pride in watching our leadership team demonstrate crisis leadership as they help clients react to the twists and turns of the pandemic, the back-to-school issues, and now the issues of social unrest. Diverse men and women will continue to face barriers until we address the systemic racism in our society. At KGA, we are working hard to provide confidential support to leaders and help with anti-racism education. Much of this work is yet to come. Thank you again for the nomination.
Mental illness has only recently come into the light as a disability that can and must be supported without stigma. I'm very happy to now introduce Dr. Pada Tsuyamoto, who has worked tirelessly to create success paths for those at the intersection of mental illness and mistreatment from racism. Dr. Tsuyamoto is the co-chair for the Greater Boston Regional Suicide Prevention Coalition and the chair of the Massachusetts Coalition for Suicide Prevention Alliance for Equity's People of Color Caucus. Pada has approached these important topics with compassion and creativity. She is one of the authors of Widening the Lens, Exploring the Role of Social Justice in Suicide Prevention, a racial equity toolkit, and is co-founder of the Breaking Silences Project, which is an artistic endeavor that educates about the high rates of depression and suicide among Asian American young women. Pada is a longtime volunteer for Asian Women for Health and is a trainer and wellness coach for the Achieving Whole Health program. In the words of her nominator, Pada is by far one of the humblest yet well-respected community leaders in Boston. At heart, she values service and collaboration, so she amplifies the voice of others before her own. Her works speak for itself. Pada is one extraordinary woman who leads by example. Please join me in congratulating Dr. Pada Tsuyomoto on being recognized as an extraordinary woman advancing healthcare.
Hello, my name is Dr. Pada Tsuyomoto, and I want to thank Audrey Peck for nominating me for this prestigious award. I also want to thank Asian Women for Health, the Massachusetts Coalition for Suicide Prevention, and the National Asian American and Pacific Islander Mental Health Association. Winning this award is significant to me in a number of ways. First, as a person with lived experience with mental illness and a suicide attempt survivor, it shows me and others that people like myself can contribute and work to better ours and others' lives. This award is also a validation of the need for using a racial equity and social justice lens to frame community work in healthcare. It elevates this work as critical at this moment. Moving forward, I hope to continue to focus on equity and social justice in all the work I do as a mental health activist. This work is particularly important today as we as a society continue to uncover the deep disparities in healthcare for Black, Indigenous, people of color, or BIPOC. The last 6 months, we have seen racism rear its ugliness in a myriad of ways, which all have mental and physical health implications that need to be systematically addressed. And I believe as healthcare professionals, none of us can ignore the realities for BIPOC. We need to continue increasing visibility for diverse women in organizations by intentionally and unrelentingly elevating voices of BIPOC women and creating leadership opportunities for us to share our unique gifts and perspectives. We need to understand the concept of intersectionality, which articulates that when you are a woman and BIPOC, there's a dynamic between the two identities and the ways that oppression works. Finally, white women need to be allies for BIPOC women, and BIPOC women need to learn to support each other across racial and cultural differences, for we are stronger together. Thank you.
Nurses are the heroes of frontline care. They demonstrate commitment to wellness of every patient day in, day out. In this age of COVID, nurses are even more essential than ever, keeping up with a storm of ever-changing protocols, PPE shortages, while handling surges of new patients. We're proud to present to you these next two awardees who take leadership, mentorship, and innovation in nursing and patient care to an entirely new level. I'd like to invite Andrea Burdenka, the founder of the Institute for Generative Leadership, to introduce these next two awardees.
Hello there, I'm Andrea Burdenka. I'm the CEO and chairperson of Desco Service. Desco Service has been servicing the healthcare industry since 1970. As an independent service provider going into our 50th year, the attributes of strong, innovative leadership that include being educators and being of service to others is very important and relevant to me. I'm also the CEO of the Institute for Generative Leadership. And what generative is creating futures that are based on managing and fulfilling commitments. And in order for us to create and fulfill commitments that are bigger than ourselves individually, we need teams. We need an audience. And in the healthcare world, we need patients in order to deliver the utmost quality and efficacy in patient care requires that we have strong, capable, ready and willing, brave leaders. And with that, I am excited to introduce to you one of our Extraordinary Women Advancing Healthcare Award recipients. Our first recipient is Nancy Gaydon. Nancy is the Chief Nurse Officer at Boston Medical Center. And those who have nominated Nancy have described her as an effective communicator, a great listener, an educator, and an advocate. There have been controversial conversations happening in healthcare specific to how healthcare professionals service and cater to patients. Nancy has been an advocate for patients and her fellow coworkers. Nancy has provided the education, the background, and the research to educate others on just how certain controversial ballot questions will impact healthcare service delivery. She has made great changes in the space of healthcare delivery and has been acknowledged by many people within her organization for her good work. Please join me in congratulating Nancy for being somebody who has clearly advanced healthcare. Thank you, Nancy, and congratulations.
Thank you, Kate Walsh, for this nomination, and thank you, Joanne Marquesi, for partnering with her in this effort. I'm so appreciative of Joanne. We worked together for several years, and I learned so much from her. Her analytic skills and combined with her thoughtful, supportive leadership were amazing. I can't say enough about working for Kate Walsh. Her intense commitment to our patients and our communities that we serve is unmatched. She's an awesome leader, and I'm so lucky to work for her and with her every day. Thanks to the Commonwealth Institute for your leadership and energy, Barry Blauvet and the rest of the board for thinking about this and taking the time to pull together the leaders, the women leaders, and honor us like this. It's a huge amount of work, and I'm just really appreciative of that. The honorees tonight are amazing. I am humbled and thrilled to be a part of this group. Congratulations to all of them and the amazing things that they have brought forward in their industries. As a leader on the front lines of healthcare, in a hospital, in a nursing department, I have to comment on what it has been like for me in this pandemic, what it's meant to be a chief nurse, watching my nurses, my staff. I've been so proud of their courage and compassion, the energy that they brought to their work, their flexibility. We worked across the hospital in an amazing way as a team, but we also worked as chief nursing officers across the state together. And I feel like I accept this award tonight in honor of all nursing leaders. Thank you for bringing us forward and making us a part of tonight. Thank you so much for this award.
Hi there. I am happy to award Hayam Nadel with the Extraordinary Women Advancing Healthcare Award, Director for the Center of Innovation in Care Delivery at Massachusetts General Hospital. Hayam has been described as a mentor, as an innovator, someone who is selfless. And for me, as a leader in the healthcare space and also a leader in the educational adult training space, in order to effectively lead, we need to be able to create a container for all of the emotions, all of the different backgrounds and perspectives that others bring that might not always be aligned with ours. Hayam has demonstrated ways to listen to other people's perspectives and to create new possibilities in conversation through listening and coordinating effectively with others. Hayam has been described as an innovator. She also helped to create the OBGYN department from the ground up, which requires the hard work to actually do that and the trust that has been built with others to accomplish great things that are beyond ourselves as individuals. Congratulations, Hayam, for creating and building teams to create big and important, impactful outcomes.
I am deeply honored to receive the 2020 Extraordinary Woman Advancing Healthcare Award. I wish to thank the Commonwealth Institute for this recognition. And with heartfelt appreciation to those who nominated me, what a wonderful way to let me know I have positively impacted your life and careers. When one gets a prestigious award such as this, people notice and invite you to the table. So I will use getting to the table to give a voice to all frontline caregivers, especially nurses, in helping transforming healthcare. My training in entrepreneurship has taught me that challenges become opportunities. And within the Center of Innovations in Care Delivery at Mass General Hospital, we will provide the platform for new ideas, new models of care, new devices, because we believe change will come from those closest to the problems. COVID-19 has made me proud of the extraordinary clinical care we provided in Massachusetts, but it also exposed some gaps in that care. It taught me the importance of good leadership, because I witnessed firsthand how my hospital leaders were always there throughout the pandemic. I am lucky to have such great role models. Most importantly, COVID-19 has taught me the power of we and what we can accomplish when we come together as a society with one common goal. My hope and desire is to build on this momentum as we tackle what our new norm will be. Just as we came together for COVID-19, we will need our insurers, industry partners, academic colleagues, community members, and patients to be at the table. Because to effect impactful change, it needs to be through partnerships and not work done in silos. Recognizing how much we all depend on each other, if we harness our shared humanity, then we can heal together and make the right decisions for a just and equitable future. Thank you.
Wow, what an incredible group of women leaders that are advancing healthcare in all aspects of the healthcare space. It's just extraordinary, which is why we named it that. This group has just blown us all away, and I'm sure you as well tonight. So really, again, thank you to all of you and recognizing your achievements. Congratulations. We'd like to ask all of you tuning in here tonight at home to join us in raising a glass to our awardees. Cheers to these extraordinary 10 women advancing healthcare across Massachusetts.
We hope you've had as great a time as we have in celebrating the awardees. Join us in 2021 as we honor and support a new generation of extraordinary women advancing healthcare in Massachusetts and around the globe.
Wait, there's more, Barry. Each awardee tonight will be offered the opportunity to participate in Strategies for Success, which is TCI's acclaimed leadership development program for women leaders. Currently, we have over 1,500 graduates of this program. I also want to give another shout out to all of our generous sponsors, endorsers, and steering committee members. And many thanks to all of you for supporting the inaugural Extraordinary Women Advancing Healthcare in Massachusetts Awards. In the meantime, stay healthy, stay safe. See you in 2021, hopefully in person. Good night.